So this is my game in its current form, Cap Attack. It's a 2 versus 1 game. The boss, which is in black, against the heroes, which are in blue and red. So the game is a little bit too long to have a full playthrough of in a video, so I'm just going to show right in the middle. There's a little mock setup. It's a little hard to tell, but these two are blue, and that one as well. So the 3 blue, 3 red, and 6 black are on the board right now. The boss has 5 attack pattern cards in his hand, a bunch of tokens. The heroes, let's say this is blue. Blue has a bunch of tokens and 2 cards, and red has 3 tokens and 2 cards as well. So I'm just going to run through what one turn looks like. So the boss goes first every turn. And so what the boss does first is he will roll the die twice. And I use a D3 die, which just says 1, 2, and 3 on it. So you roll that twice, get a 1 and a 2. So you'll get 3 more tokens. And then you can add or move caps. And the first 2 are free. And then the third would cost 4, and the fourth would cost 10 for 14 total, and a fifth would cost 10 more, which would be 24 total. So that'd be a lot for one turn, but the boss has that capability, which is cool. So I'm going to add 2 caps for free. So let's see. I want to make some of these patterns. So I can almost make that pattern. Let's make this pattern right here. So I'm gonna make these 4 in diagonal. Add those 2 right there. So now I meet that pattern, and it can be rotated or mirrored or whatever. It still works. So add those 2 for free. I'm not going to add a third for 4, but I clearly have enough tokens to do so. So the next thing I can do is play an attack pattern card. So I look up here to the cost, and if I have that, which I clearly do as the boss, I will spend 5 tokens. I'll play this so that the other team can look at it. Wrong one. It's also 5. And then it says I can kill 4 out of these X spots, which is explained here in my little mock-up. So I can kill 4, and luckily for the boss, there are 3 caps on those spaces. So I will take these 3 off, and that's 3 points for the boss. So the game is the first to 12 opponent caps. So that's one boss turn. So for a hero's turn, slightly different. Step 1 is you either roll the die to get tokens, or you add a cap for free. So let's say it's red. Let's say I want to play this next, and it costs 4. I'm going to need to roll to get more tokens to play that. So I got 2. I can't actually play Morningstar, but now I will do the next thing and add 1 cap for free. So let's see. I want to play it so that it makes sense for any of these to match up, although only red can play these 2, and only blue can play these 2 on their turn. Not really sure. Play here, just to set up something later. Actually, yeah. So blue will be able to play this. So added my cap for free. Now I can play or swap out an attack pattern card. Let's say I don't like this one, it's too hard or something. I can discard it, get a new one. That's a big one. So most of these have weapon names, just to make it a little bit more fun and get the players to be thinking in that context of war. But that one just looked like a smiley face, so I had to make it cheer up. So I swapped out an attack banner card. And the last thing I can do is give up to 5 tokens to the other player and swap 1 cap on the board with them. So I could, if I wanted to, as the red player, swap that for that. And I'm also allowed to give tokens to the other player during this teamwork phase. Alright, so now it's Blue's turn. Blue has enough tokens, so he's not going to roll. But he will add a token cap for free, and then add another cap for free. So you get 1 cap for free there if you don't roll, another cap for free as part of the second phase. So let's see. So these are gonna be hard. These are going to be hard to make. So I'm going to set up for the next turn, doing that, and then I'm going to play the pawn, which is cost 3, and is made there and there. Those are different colors as denoted by the shape and the highlighted colors, which is also shown on this mock-up. And yeah, so I play the pawn, kill this one, which is 1 point, which you keep separate on the hero side, because blue has to collect at least 4, and so does red, for the game to win, for them to win. So this gets discarded. They got that, and it also said, I'll bring this back. It also said remove both, so there are X's through the 2 pieces that they played. So these just go back, and yeah, and then it gets discarded, and you draw a new one, and yeah, then it goes back to the boss. So the only other thing I didn't show are some of these rules. So the boss, to not feel helpless between the hero's turns, is allowed to pay. I had 5 tokens and then 10. I think I'm going to settle around 8. So pay 8 tokens to swap out one of their caps, one of the boss caps for the hero cap. So the boss between the hero's turn is allowed to do something like this, which is very powerful. Can completely stop a pattern from happening, but it costs a lot, so they don't want to do it very often. The other things are you can trade in any caps that you've collected, so the boss has collected these caps. If you want to, during your turn, you can turn one in, give it back to the other player, and take 8 tokens. And that's the same for the heroes as well. And the last thing is, if you have no more caps, so if you run out of all your caps, which happens more so for the heroes because they have fewer, you're allowed to take up to 3 off of the board and put them back in your hand, but it costs your next turn to do so. So yeah, that's just a little snippet of Cap Attack. I've playtested it a bunch with family and friends, and I'm going to continue to do so over the summer. But, thanks.